What decisions were taken so far as BFLA is concerned?
Okay, in terms of the concrete decisions, we still haven't decided that yes, come the 31st of October, all doors of the association will be closed, that there will no longer be a BFLA, right? The board met twice to look at the situation. We've met with staff, we shared with staff what are the possibilities. I had a very encouraging meeting with the Director of Health Services, Dr. Pitts, this morning, and we are also trying to secure a meeting with the Prime Minister to get into the dialogue and to see, let's put things on the table and see where we can save an association that has provided services to this country for the past 26 years. So it would, for me to just say that, yes, we've closed the doors, so that would be irresponsible of me, because even at our board meeting last night, we looked at options as to how to keep BFLA.
How did things get so bad for BFLA?
Okay, as I said, we've been in existence for 26 years, and for that entire period, we have been able to sustain ourselves to a great extent. Yes, we are an affiliated, we are an accredited member of the International Planned Parenthood Federation, and so we get a core grant every year, as well as we've been able through over the years to attract some very solid projects. But as time goes by, donors or through projects, they no longer pay for personnel, and even with that, we were able to, given the number of persons coming into our centers and paying for services, coming in and utilizing the services, our centers were able to generate income to at least meet never 100% of their operational cost, but at least about 65%. Over the past maybe 4 years, we see that situation changing, where we are not having the level of client flow as we used to have to generate income within our centers. We, just to share, prior to 4 years, our Orange Walk Clinic alone, when we did pap smear campaign, for example, in the month of March, we would do anything between 1,200 to 1,400 pap smears within the month of March. The starting 4 years ago, we barely do 500. So that, those are some of the things that have caused us to be in this situation now.
If BFLA were to disappear, how huge a gap would that leave in our healthcare system?
Well, I can just say, based on the services that we have provided and the statistics that we have to show. In 2010 alone, when we look at the number of services that we provided to young persons under 25, we provided over 30,000 services to persons under 25, and about 37,000 services to persons over 25. So that tells you more or less the kind of coverage that we do, having a clinic in Punta Gorda, in Dangriga, Belmopan, San Ignacio, Belize City, Orange Walk. One of the first drastic measures that we had to take was the closure of the Punta Gorda clinic, and the number of text messages, the number of emails and appeals being sent to us, begging us, please don't reconsider closing PG, because the impact on especially the women that we serve in that community. So when we talk about gaps, these are some of the things that we take into consideration. And I think it was for that reason, even though we recognize that we were faced with some economic challenges, we tried our very best to do what we felt was possible because of the level of dedication and commitment that we have for those persons who we serve. So
What was the staff level like, or what is the staff level like for BFLA, and what did it take financially to run this organization annually?
okay, annually, we're looking at about $2 million to operate BFLA, and that covers both personnel as well as all the different projects that we provide, the subsidization of services, because for the most part, we provide subsidized services to young persons. For personnel alone, we look at monthly about $122,000 monthly for personnel, because of the different levels of staff that we have within all our centers. We have a total of 52 staff countrywide.
Joan, this is like watching a loved one die right before your eyes. This must not be a very comfortable position to find yourself in.
Patrick, I'm trying to hold back the tears, but it's not easy. It's like seeing an end. Something that benefited this country for years just disappearing. And whilst, yes, I think about the staff and everything, I also think very deeply of those who will be affected if we're not able to salvage this organization, the lives that will be impacted. And when I think about the whole teenage pregnancy, HIV, especially among our young persons, the many women who depend on our services, the many women who depend on the comforting hug and the pat from our nurse when they step into that center. I think those are the things that affect me the most when I figure that, hey, there will no longer be a place called BFLA to provide that level of comfort to those who depend on the services of this organization. I always consider myself a very strong person, but I think it's things like these or occasions like these which reminds me that I'm only human, and that when it comes to a life, it means a lot to me.
As I said, this is